Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Afternoon, everybody. Oh, Norm!
Everybody knew Norm Peterson's name at Cheers, the Boston bar where he practically lived.
The name of the actor who played him for 11 seasons on the NBC sitcom was, of course, George Wendt. Wendt died today peacefully in his sleep at his home in Los Angeles. He was 76.
George Wendt earned 6 Emmy nominations and the adoration of countless fans for this.
Well, it's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear. What are you up to, Norm? My ideal weight if I were 11 feet tall.
So we raise a toast to Norm and the man who brought him to life.
Cheers, George Wendt.
You want to go where people know troubles are all the same.
You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
You had to love the guy. The Cheers finale was 32 years ago tonight. Perfect symmetry.
How's a beer sound, Norm? I don't know. I finished them before they can get a word in.
That's perfect.
Sad news involving a beloved Chicago-born actor, George Wendt. He died today.
Wendt gained fame as Norm on the TV show Cheers, of course, but there was so much more to his life and career, and it all began in Beverly in 1948.
Afternoon, everybody.
George Wendt played Norm Peterson from 1982 until 1993, making him a bona fide TV star. His career began in Chicago at Second City, where his bio page explains how he famously dropped out of Notre Dame with a 0.0 GPA. He joined Second City in 1975 and left in 1980.
Norman, you are looking especially spry today.
Thank you. Matter of fact, I joined a health club today.
Ooh, good for you. Nice facilities.
Excellent snack bar.
The comedy club just released a statement. The Second City is devastated to hear the passing of beloved alum George Wendt, most widely known for his role as Norm on the legendary sitcom Cheers. George was a faithful and funny friend and colleague who will be sorely missed. Our heart goes out to Bernadette and the whole Wendt family.
Let's just say that the winner shall be a certain team from a certain Midwestern town that starts with a C, ends with an O, and in the middle is Hikag.
Another character Wendt will always be remembered for.
Real good. Once again, we're coming to you from Dicka's Restaurant, the heart of Chicago, the city of the big shoulders.
Of the super fans from Saturday Night Live. Definitely a Chicago favorite.
Well, science is seeking a cure for thirst. I happen to be the guinea pig.
But it will be Norm and Cheers that will be Wendt's ultimate claim to fame. Wendt appeared in all 275 episodes, earning 6 Emmy Award nominations for Best Supporting Actor. Wendt would return many times to Chicago, here to be roasted at Second City in 2017. Seen in this photo is actor Jason Sudeikis, who's Wendt's nephew. And another memorable moment, a 1991 trip to Soldier Field, goofing around with fellow funny man Chris Farley during halftime of a Bears game.
George Wendt died peacefully in his home. He was 76. He is survived by his wife, actress Bernadette Burkett, and their 3 children.
From a Boston barfly to a Bear superfan, actor George Wendt is being remembered for the roles he played and how he made us laugh. He died this morning, and tonight WGN's Jenna Barnes is outside Second City, where he got his start.
Yeah, Micah, we're told Wendt died peacefully in his sleep at the age of 76. One of his longtime friends told me tonight she could not believe she was friends with Norm from Cheers. And though he became a household name, Wendt never strayed too far from his roots right here in Chicago.
I was going to come here and toast our friend George.
On a difficult day, Betsy Shepard was drawn to the storied Harry Carey's to reflect on 35 years of memories.
This corner bar, I used to bring him to after events that we did together because it was just too funny. Why not?
Too funny to welcome Norm Peterson from Cheers.
Hey, what's happening? My ideal weight if I were 11 feet tall.
To a bar where everybody knew his name.
The most fun thing for me would be when he was already sitting at the bar. Someone would sit down and not realize who he was right away. And then when they would realize who he was, that's when the fun started, because they would lose their minds.
George Wendt was from Beverly. He got his start at the Second City in 1975, but it wasn't the smoothest climb up the ranks.
And he got hired in the touring company, so he was the guy out there performing. Then they put him up on the main stage, but they thought he needed some more seasoning, so they put him back in the touring company, which is usually not a good thing.
It was no setback for Wendt. His photos still hang in the halls where the greats begin their careers. Kelly Leonard, now Vice President of Creative Strategy, says Wendt treated him the same from the beginning, as he too worked his way up from dishwasher.
Kind and funny, and literally the dude you'd want to have a beer with. And I think the thing that's so cool about George is he's so clearly a Chicago guy, and he brought that to a national stage through Cheers, but also on Saturday Night Live as one of the Bears guys. And he does represent the city and all our glory and goofiness.
With the Superfan Saturday Night Live sketch, Wendt brought Chicago into homes all across the country, alongside comedian Robert Smigel, who shares these words. So many of the people I love are from Chicago, good-humored, humble, smart but unpretentious. And George embodied all of those qualities. He was Chicago, and I loved him.
He just brought so many laughs and so much joy to this world. And that's all that really, that's what you leave that legacy, then you left well.
He appeared in every episode of Cheers, all 11 seasons. The series finale aired on this day, May 20th, 1993. We're live in Old Town tonight. Jenna Barnes, WGN.
Finally tonight here, celebrating actor George Wendt, Norm from Cheers.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Tonight, the famous bar where everybody knew his name. They would say it every time Norm walked in.
How does a beer sound, Norm?
I don't know, Coach. I usually finish them before they get a word in.
The actor George Wendt playing the funny, lovable, beer-loving bar fixture Norm Peterson on Cheers for 11 seasons. He was always there, right at the end of the bar.
Bars can be very sad places. Some people spend their whole lives in a bar. Just yesterday, some guy sat right here next to me for 11 hours.
There was that prickly but lovable friendship with Cliff Clavin, the mailman.
I have impossibly high standards for a woman.
Yeah, she has to like you, right?
The role earning George Wendt 6 consecutive Emmy nominations for Best Supporting Actor.
You know what I think the most important thing in life is? It's love. You want to know what I love? Beer, Norm? Yeah, have a quick one.
In fact, it was 32 years ago tonight the final episode of Cheers aired. The cast reuniting on last year's Emmys, recreating the bar.
And if somebody has the envelope, we can present the award.
That one right here.
George Wendt was often asked if the beer he was drinking was real. He says it wasn't, but on GMA with Charlie Gibson, he did reveal this.
I did a great deal of preparation for that role. You know, it was a lifetime.
Lived the part.
Yeah. You know, I did put on like 75 pounds for the role, much like Robert De Niro did for Raging Bull.
I know. Well, you have to make these sacrifices and probably learn to drink a little beer. Yeah.
He'd go on to star on Broadway, but it was always his iconic role sitting on that bar stool and his wisecracking one-liners that are remembered most. Tonight, his family saying he passed away peacefully in his sleep at home at the age of 76, saying George was a doting family man, a well-loved friend, and confidant to all of those lucky enough to have known him.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Oh, Norman.
What would you say to a nice beer, Normie?
Going down.
Hard to believe the last Cheers was 32 years